Welcome back to Success in Mind. Today we're talking about something that might shift the energy and the entire way you process success. Because most people think about success as in doing more, trying harder, chasing bigger goals. But real power, the kind that magnetically attracts opportunities, clients, and abundance, doesn't come from effort. It comes from energy, and specifically the energy of enough. Okay, here's the truth. You don't get what you want. You get what you believe you already deserve. When you live in the frequency of not enough money, not enough time, not enough followers, not enough worth, your entire nervous system starts chasing clients, chasing validation, chasing the next dopamine hit that will temporarily convince you that you are worthy. But energy doesn't lie. If you're chasing, you are telling the universe and your unconscious mind, I don't have it. And what you don't have, you can't attract. Like attracts like. Now, I learned this the hard way. Early in my coaching business, I was in constant hustle mode. I was posting daily. I was networking like crazy. I was saying yes to everything that came my way, and yet nothing felt stable. Clients weren't coming, and the few that did were leaving. Revenue was fluctuating and never really that great, to be honest. I was exhausted and I felt like I was doing all the things. And underneath it all, I was terrified that if I stopped doing all the things, everything was going to fall apart. And then one day, my coach said to me, Teri, you're not running a business, you're running from your insecurity. That hit hard because he was right. I was doing all the right things, but from a place of not enough. And not enough energy only creates more scarcity. And that's when I started really working on this principle. When you believe you are enough, right now, before you see the results, before you get the clients, before you make the money, before you get the opportunities, your actions shift from proving to creating. And everything starts to flow differently. So let's talk about what actually happens beneath the surface. Now, from an NLP unconscious perspective, your unconscious mind filters reality through what's called identity level beliefs. If your identity says, I'm not enough, then your reticular activating system, the part of your mind which is wired to look for patterns, connections, similarities to what you're focused on, will start filtering everything, looking for evidence to prove that it's true. Your reality will start to reflect what it is that you believe about yourself in order to prove it's true. So even when success does show up, the client or a compliment, a new opportunity, more money, you will find ways to minimize it or even lose it. And maybe you've had this experience where every time money comes into your business, something happens and that money leaves just as quickly as it came in, if not even faster than it came in. But when your identity says, I'm enough, I deserve good things, your brain starts noticing all of the opportunities instead of the threats. You regulate your nervous system. You stop chasing and you start receiving. And that's not woo-woo. That's neuroscience. So here's how to know if you are in chasing energy. You overthink every post and every offer. You feel anxious between client calls or launches. You keep doing more and creating more busy work, but it feels like it's never enough and it feels like you're constantly surrounded by chaos. You compare yourself constantly, even to people who aren't even in your lane or at your same stage of business. And all of that signals back to your unconscious mind that you are not safe until you achieve something external. But when your self worth is conditional, your nervous system stays in survival mode. And no one creates their best work from survival mode. So let's talk about how do we shift this. So here's 3 simple steps that you can use to shift from chasing to attracting. So, step 1, you've got to regulate your nervous system. You can't manifest what you want from panic. So, take 5 minutes to breathe, to stretch, to go for a walk. Create a sense of safety for your body. Tell it that it's safe to receive. 5 minutes of meditation or self hypnosis can make a world of difference and shift you from sympathetic nervous system function to parasympathetic nervous system function. In sympathetic nervous system function, we are stressed, we are reacting to everything around us. In parasympathetic nervous system, you are at peace, you can relax. That's when things start to flow. So, step 1, you got to regulate your nervous system. Step 2, anchor into identity. Now, it's not enough to just say to yourself, I am enough. I'm the kind of person who attracts success. That doesn't work. Those are affirmations and they don't work. Now, let me explain why they don't work because I always get pushback when I talk about this. Affirmations are affirming what you already believe. So if in your unconscious mind you don't already believe that you are enough, and you start saying, I am already enough, I attract money, your unconscious mind in the background is going to be calling bullshit. That's not true. And what you will actually be affirming is the bullshit, that feeling that it's not true, and any other negative feelings that come along with it. This was actually done in a study at the University of Waterloo. They studied the effects of affirmations and they found that if you don't already believe it's true, you are actually affirming the doubts, the disbelief, the negative emotions that are underneath it and strengthening those. Now, what I would suggest doing instead is listening to a hypnosis or a meditation. Get yourself into a really relaxed state of trance. And now that resistance is gone. Now your unconscious mind is open to receive the positive suggestions that you are enough, that you can have whatever you want, that you are the kind of person who attracts success. But you have to get yourself into that state where your conscious mind takes a little bit of a break. The critical faculty of the conscious mind peels back, and those suggestions can go directly into your unconscious mind. That's where reprogramming happens. That's why I do hypnotherapy with my high performance clients. So we have to anchor it into identity. And step 3, act from sufficiency, not scarcity. So before sending an email to your list or launching a new offer, ask yourself, am I doing this to prove something or to express something? Proving is draining, expressing attracts. When your actions come from self trust, you become magnetic. And in fact, this reminds me of something that my good friend and my business partner, Yahel Demeter, always says. And if you've been listening to the show for a while, you have heard him on the show. He's been on several times as a guest now. And something that he always says is effort stinks. People can smell effort. Like maybe not literally, but we sense it when someone is efforting through something. So we don't want to be efforting through our work. It doesn't mean that we're not working hard in business, but we don't want it to be effort. It should feel like flow. We want to become magnetic to attract what we want, not efforting to force something to happen. So, step 3, you got to act from sufficiency and not scarcity. Now, steps 1 and 3, you can easily do on your own. Step 2, you need some guidance with. So, I have created a hypnosis recording that goes with this episode, and you can download it for free. So just click the link in the show notes and you can get that recording. And that's how you're going to anchor this in to your identity. And I want to leave you on this note. The energy of enough is not passive. It's powerful. It's the place where aligned action meets self-trust. And that's where real success begins, not from efforting through it, but allowing the success to come to you. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't do anything, and this is an important distinction. You still need to take action. You need the aligned action. So if this episode hit home for you, screenshot it and tag me at the Teri Holland on Instagram, or just comment below if you are watching on YouTube or if you're listening on Spotify. Leave me a comment and let me know what resonated with you. Maybe some insights that you've had or how this has shifted your thinking to something different. And if you are ready to truly do the deep work that builds magnetic confidence from the inside out, book a consultation with me and let's do this work together. Because your success starts in mind. Thank you for being here this week, my friends. I look forward to being back with you again next week. Bye for now.